And we're back. UFC3 reaction video, part 2. Let's get into it. Okay. So I just thought I'd stop here after the last fight, just summing up what you saw in the last video. Yarber and Hackney. Hackney won. Yarber was the huge mountain of a man. Hackney took him down with some pretty mean 12-6 strikes to the back of the spine and some kind of raking move. Shamrock versus Leninger. That was a pretty tough match. Leninger sort of broke. Shamrock got him in the end. Payne versus Harold Howard. Howard coming through. And Gracie versus Chemo. Chemo, the coming out with the cross. That was a tough one, actually. But Hoist Gracie won, but he looked pretty fucked after that match. So let's continue on and see what happens next.
I didn't see as he walked by. Did you see if he did, in fact, was he limping?
Hoist is
Yeah,
totally
Hoist was
exhausted.
limping.
He's somewhat hurt. What's going to happen is going to be very interesting from now on because each one of these guys, they're really tough. And right now, I tell you, there's a question mark.
Yeah, there's definitely a question mark. Let's meet.
So that's the thing with these early old school tournaments. You might have 3 fights on one night. It was like just an arena, you know, and no one gave a fuck about if you're injured or you might have an easy fight, then a hard one. It was just whatever the luck of the draw was. And you can see here we got Mitchell versus Shamrock at this stage and Howard versus Gracie. But it depends on who's injured in the back room right now. Anyway, I think we're moving on to the next one.
Let's take a look and meet Felix Lee Mitchell, the last-minute alternate.
We've got an alternate.
In Nashville, Tennessee, Felix Lee Mitchell works as a corrections officer for Tennessee's Riverbend Maximum Security Prison.
It's got the stare
It's
happening.
no job for a lightweight. A first-level master in the art of Shaolin Gung Fu, Felix was the 1993 U.S. Wushu Gung Fu heavyweight champion.
Okay.
His 5'11", 220-pound frame was also put to use boxing for the United States Army team while he was stationed at Fort Campbell. Rapid punching combinations could make Felix a tough, long-range opponent.
Hello, martial arts fans. I'm
Hello.
Felix Lee Mitchell. I'm here at the UFC3. Hopefully, I get a chance to fight Hoist Gracie and win the championship.
Here he is, Felix Lee Mitchell. He found out about 10 minutes ago he'd be fighting tonight.
Wow. So my prediction, can't remember this fight. I don't really know who's going to fight now. He's an alternate though, but my prediction is that he's kind of in trouble because he looks like he's just a stand-up fighter.
Felix shook my hand earlier today and almost broke it, so I advised him to shake his opponent's hand so that his opponent wouldn't be able to hit him with the right hand.
Kickboxing.
28 years old, 5'11", 220 pounds. A great guy. Had a chance to meet him this week. Shaolin Gung Fu is his discipline, and he's going to need everything he can and more against Ken Shamrock, a master shoot fighter.
Okay, he's going against
There's
Shamrock.
Felix Lee Mitchell, and he's wearing gloves. He's wearing gloves. That's something else to keep in mind. I don't know if they're working his mittens
He's
or if you
doomed.
can in fact see those fingers. You can in fact see
Well,
the
you
fingers.
saw
So
him
those,
hitting the heavy bag. You saw him boxing, so therefore he probably feels he's a good boxer.
yeah, this will be for $15,000, Jim, and a berth in the finals. He'll be facing Ken Shamrock, who had a very tough bout, Christoph Leininger. And here is the man. He was in UFC 1. You know him.
So Leininger had a gi. He was actually pretty well versed on the ground, and then Shamrock just eventually got in the guard and beat his face in. And then he couldn't face whoever because that person was injured. So this guy's coming. He's fresh. But I don't think Shamrock's going to be too worried because this guy looks like he doesn't have anything on the ground.
From there, and you know him from victory before. Take a look at him. He makes his way through the smoke.
Second fight for the night.
Shoot fighter Ken Shamrock. From Lockford, California, 30 years old.
Frank Shamrock onto the right, I think.
Shamrock, when I asked him earlier, you all heard him, he said he saved the choke for Hoist. He may get that chance. We'll see tonight here.
Little background on this guy. Of course, there'll be no kicks like before because he is wearing shoes.
I guarantee you a lot of fighters right now are pumped up because of that last match with Hoist. They got another little burst of energy, so Ken's one of them.
Yeah, Ken has changed his shorts. He's got an American flag on his yellow trunks, preparing to take Felix Lee Mitchell, who I think is electing to take off his gloves. He's electing to take off his gloves to take on Ken Shamrock.
Wow.
Let's go to a tail of the tape on these two great fighters.
So we got 6 foot, 30 years old. So there's really not much difference. 5 pounds, a little bit of height, and a little bit of age. But the shoot fighting, Felix will not be ready for.
This will be for a berth in the finals. Ken Shamrock, Felix Mitchell. Age, you can throw it out. Height, you can throw it out. Weight, virtually even. One from Lockford, California, one from Nashville, Tennessee. Two very determined young men. Hey, they've been staying on the same floor in rooms right adjacent to each other all week.
I think experience, Jim, is the key here. Ring sense, ring time. Ken has that.
I think
Ring
so. I
wisdom.
think Ken is going to deal with this one a lot.
It's time to start the semifinals, and to do that, let's go for the introductions and go to none other than Octagon announcer Rich G-Man Goins.
Goins.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our
Rich
first
Goins.
semifinal. Please welcome our alternate for the first match, fighting out of the blue corner, a first-level master at Shaolin Kung Fu. He is a 1993 heavyweight champion of both the U.S. Wushu Kung Fu and the North American Chinese Martial Arts Federation tournaments. In the service, this 28-year-old, 5'11", 220-pound martial artist also represented the U.S. boxing team with a record of 3-1-1 from the country capital of the world, Nashville, Tennessee, Felix Lee Mitchell.
Nice.
And please welcome back his opponent, a first-round winner, a master at the deadly art of shoot fighting from Lockford, California, with a record of 45-5 out of the red corner, Ken Wayne Shamrock.
Shamrock. Could even harmonize with
Jim,
him.
a man after your own heart, a corrections officer. You do so much work in the prisons. Here's a guy. He's got an art, he's got a discipline, and he's deciding to put it to work.
Ryan, I don't think that's going to help him.
Yeah.
He's probably spending too much time guarding those inmates.
Ken's changing his pants.
Shamrock, of course, probably looking to
The
take
guy's
him
got
down.
really high guard. Just shoot. Shoot under that. He's going to shoot. Shamrock's got to shoot. Here we
He
go.
doesn't want to fight him. He doesn't want to get hurt or get hit or whatever. He wants to take him down and finish him off if he can.
He's actually being
He did
conservative,
take some
Shamrock.
punches to the head from Christoph Leininger, but he looks very fresh as any one in the semifinals.
You
It
go
takes
to
a
the
lot of
back.
energy to stay on your feet like that when a guy's trying to pull you down, actually, because the guy has his weight going for him when he locks up to you like this and tries to pull you down. He knows he doesn't want to go. Look at his hands.
No.
Ken will probably
He's
fight
like
him.
holding with both hands to that cage.
Probably release this. Go.
I think Shamrock's tired because he normally would have hit that
he
takedown.
sees that opening because he can move his head to the left and bring that right hand over. Here we go.
There's the upper body match.
He's just being patient. He's going to spam him with these takedown attempts.
Stronger than Ken Shamrock at this weight. Ken, by the way, was
It's just
drafted by
holding
San
the
Diego
fence.
Chargers. Decided now I'd rather get into some wrestling, earn my money a
This
little
is
bit
not where
harder.
he wants to be. He can go for the
On the
choke
back.
while he's standing right here.
Oh, this is over.
It's not what you want
He's got
to
his
do.
neck.
He's got to pivot if he can. He's got to turn to his left to pivot out of this neck break.
Felix, he needed the grind.
Yeah, if he can get his hand up on that arm like that, that's good. He pulled out.
This guy's strong, but
Ken looks totally in control, feeling very confident right now.
he's got the wrist control
Elbow to the ribs.
on his left
Now,
hand.
if he
See
gets
that?
the other arm out, he'll go for the choke with that hand. He'll tie the hand up and then go for it here.
Well, the guy's defending okay.
There you go.
If Shamrock gets that left leg behind him, though, it's not
Crowd
good.
starting to chant, Shamrock, Shamrock. So there are quite a few favorites here. With Rowan Payne, the local boy out of the competition, they've kind of adopted Mr. Shamrock.
It's very warm in here tonight, so the normal grabs on someone, they really don't work as quickly.
I think Shamrock's
That
just
tape
sussing this
really
guy out.
lets a person grab as hard
Probably
as
knows
he
he's
can
got
like
another
that,
fight
but
after
it
this.
doesn't slip so far, so.
There's no biting. There's no eye gouges. But if they're done, you're not disqualified. You're fined
This other guy's pretty
$1,000,
strong.
And that goes to the man you did
That's
it
right.
to.
Per incident, $1,000 per incident.
Oh. Oh.
Felix has withstood the storm, at least standing up. We'll see if Ken feels he can do anything more standing up and tries to take him down.
I think Ken will crank this up now. I don't think he wants to do this all night.
No, I think
I don't
he's
think
just
he can crank it up.
trying to
I think
conserve
the
energy and get him down
stamina exuded last fight is
without
telling right now.
overexerting his wrestling.
Looking at semifinal action, Ken Shamrock has won. He has beaten Christoph
nice
Leininger
try.
to get here. Felix Lee Mitchell, a last-minute substitution when winner Keith Hackney could not go on.
There's that right hand I was speaking of earlier because Ken
Right to the
has
back
his
of the
head
skull.
Just enough space in there he can release really quickly, and because he has the left hand tied up with Felix, he can't block that hand.
Shamrock.
Come on,
listening
Ken,
to the
get him
crowd
down.
saying,
Get it
"Shamrock,
over with."
Come on. But I'll tell you, Felix Lee Mitchell might have a strategy going here.
To stand up.
Let's withstand the storm. Let's frustrate the experienced man.
You know, try to wear him down as much as he can. This
Shamrock
takes so
just looks
much
relaxed.
People want to see action here. You hear the boos, but I'm telling you right now, this is survival. This is survival.
Any piece of clothing you wear can be used against you.
Yes, it
And
can.
you're seeing it right now by Felix's pants.
Ken is just exhausted. He must be after the first fight. That was a grueling fight.
Yeah.
And, took a lot of upper body strength, and that's really where he has
That's
it.
why he's tired. It was a very tough first fight. But you can see in my previous installment of UFC3 commentary reaction video. Here we go. This guy's a big man. He's just trying to.
Now, if Ken can pivot to his right a bit, he'll stop those groin shots.
Just waiting for the opportunity. Once he's on the ground, it's over, I reckon.
Those punches to the hip.
This guy's fresh, remember? So Ken's got to wear him out a bit.
There's nothing you can do about it.
We watched it with Chemo.
There
There
you
he goes, he's down.
It's just a matter of time. It's just being
Ken
patient.
has a series of submission
Full
arms.
mount,
He's
this
got
is
ankle
over.
locks,
Yes.
he's got arm locks. Let's see if he can put any on.
Yes, it'll be very hard to get out of it. I think Ken's
Back
Ken's in good
control.
shape here. If he gets his hooks in,
To the back.
hooks in there, this fight's over with.
Strangle. Oh, he's just got him elevated. This is a worse position.
On top.
Like a crank.
Comes in
It's
2-1.
over.
and
Tap,
it's
he's
tapped
tapped.
out. Felix Lee Mitchell is gone into the finals as predicted by many. Ken Shamrock.
Ken won't interview. Ken won't interview. Ken won't interview.
And Ken does not want to talk into the finals. You hear Ben saying, and I'll tell you one thing. Check this out, Ben. We got an ankle problem, a very serious ankle problem. As his dad comes in the ring to put the robe on.
Unbelievable. These champions tonight are really showing what it's got.
He must have
They're
injured
really
himself, and
being
that's
torn
why he
out.
couldn't shoot properly.
This is unbelievable compared to the other two.
These
Absolutely.
guys around the world are getting ready for this
Yes,
stuff.
everybody's getting prepared.
Got
People
it.
are seeing it, and they are getting prepared accordingly.
Now,
Felix Lee Mitchell, nothing to be ashamed of. Think about it, guys. He found out 10 minutes before the bout who he was fighting, and then
Yeah.
he was fighting.
I said in UFC 2 that after when Jim asked me, he said, how long
I don't know if Shamrock's going to make the finals because he looks so injured.
Become proficient at ground grappling or Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And what I was saying,
Let's
not
move it along
against
here,
another
folks.
Gracie, but absolutely against another martial artist who is not schooled in the ground. So
And
here,
yeah, here's a Mr. Grappler now. He's
He's
more
got
of
it
a
in.
top-to-bottom
Yeah, let's see what
fighter.
Harold Howard has to say.
Now listen to this. We talked to Harold Howard before this fight. We said, hey, if you're going to meet Royce Gracie, how would you fight him? Here's what he said.
We should point out that Mr. Gracie is a master of jiu-jitsu on the ground. So me being a jiu-jitsu person, I can appreciate that more than the other competitors because I am a grappler also.
Okay.
But I have, in the last few years, been creating a system of fighting that brings the karate aspect back into jiu-jitsu, which means that I'm working so that the person does not have to get to grapple you. So I'm looking.
He looks like a nice guy, but face it, his head's been bashed in. A little bit like a smashed crab. His nose is flat and he's got a tooth missing. So this system he's been working on, I don't know. Could it be better?
Looking forward to meeting Mr. Gracie on the mat, but I'm also looking forward to allowing myself to let my karate aspect of it take over too.
He seems like a very respectful man, though. Despite his outwardly terrifying appearance, he seems like a respectful martial artist.
So we'll see. And the best man will win, and that's all there is to it.
He's a nice guy. I like him.
And here he is, making his way into the
I
ring.
wouldn't want to fight him.
Harold Howard.
he made a good point there. He says he's trained to keep from being grappled. Well, that's very hard to say against Royce Gracie, and no one's been able to do that, to be able to angularly, like the great
Team.
champion Joe Louis would teach angular fighting. So that would come into play. If he can do that, let's see if he
They've been doing the
sidesteps
Gracie
or really
walkout
goes
here.
back, draws Royce to the center of the ring to go
Look,
back.
let's just go to the point. We know what the walkout is. Royce will come out. Let's
Tail
just weigh
off
him
the
up.
tape tells a lot.
So let's have a look. Karate. So we got Harold's 7 years older. He's an inch taller. He's got 50 pounds on Royce.
27, 36, difference in age, but you look at the height, about even. 180, 230 pounds.
I've never seen Royce look like this. This is really incredible. You're seeing the spirit of a warrior here.
The crowd is electric. The crowd is electric. Not cheering, not booing, just talking. There's a feeling in the air that something big could happen today. Harold Howard bouncing in the corner.
Harold is saying, let me see if I can take advantage of this
Hoist
right
looks
now. He's
a bit
bouncing
fucking
around.
broken.
He looks fresh.
And you know Howard wanted Hoist.
Yeah, he did.
He made that known at the press conference.
Hoist looks a bit stressed.
All right, now it's time for the
Ladies and
semifinal
gentlemen, please
introductions. There's
welcome back
Rich
from
G-Man going.
Ontario, Canada, the Canadian World Heavyweight Jiu-Jitsu Champion
Coins.
and 3-time Canadian Heavyweight Karate Champion, 6'2", 230-pound Harold.
So there's 50 pounds different. I don't know the kilograms, but say it's a lot of weight. And I just know, you know, when from rolling in jiu-jitsu, you get a guy, I'm probably about 90 kilos, and if you get someone who's like 95, 100, it's just like a different dimension. It puts a lot of stress on you, and they're bigger, and they're a problem. So for Hoist to give away so much weight, and he had a very tough match with Chemo, who was a heavyweight before this, and I think he had another one before that. He's had 2 fights already. Now he's got to fight this guy. Here we go. Howard.
And his opponent, once again, the 2-time defending Ultimate Fighting Champion, 6'1", 176 pounds.
Look at Hoist. He's not even looking at him.
Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Hoist Gracie.
Hoist is going to need the crowd. He's going to need his coaching. He's going to need everything he can. His shoulder's bothering him. Something's
There's something
interesting.
else going on. They're doing a lot of...
John McCarthy is making his way over to Harold Howard. He might have a shoulder problem, I believe. I believe Hoist. I think we could be looking at a disqualification.
They're taking
the towel is in. Harold Howard has won. Hoist Gracie's out of the competition.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
He's injured.
His injuries from the bout with Chemo has eliminated Hoist from the competition.
Unbelievable.
Into the finals goes Harold Howard.
Outrageous.
Harold looks a bit pissed off.
What a shocker.
Well, it's
Harold
not a
Howard.
shocker right now because after the other fight with Chemo,
Yeah, you can't judge him,
1,
right?
2, or 3.
Hang on, we got some ads happening here. We'll wait for these to roll through. Hang on. I wonder if I go do this, then we can get rid of these ads. Yeah, it's going to roll through. But I think Hoist only had the one fight maybe with Chemo, and whatever it was before that, I just can't remember. He might not have fought, but it was a very tough match, and Chemo's in that 200 range, like 220 plus range, maybe more. Really heavy guy, really powerful. So the guys like those, they only have to fall on you the wrong way, and you're kind of screwed. So I can't blame him for wanting to. I mean, you know, it's like in the gym. If you don't jiu-jitsu, if you don't go to a club, you do your techniques, you might do a warm-up, and then the class lasts for an hour, and then bang, away you go. You'll roll 4 or 5 times, and you pretty much, you know, you're just rolling, you're not striking. So I can't judge Hoist Gracie for not wanting to continue in that situation. So we're going to go back up here. Harold Howard's sort of raging back to the back rooms.
First time ever. Hoist has been eliminated from a UFC bout. We saw him blow through 4 bouts in UFC 2, 3 in UFC 1. And
Tonight, it seems like.
Oh, Chemo's
this
back.
is Joe Sana's manager in front. This is Chemo making his way into the ring.
Okay, so
I can't
Chemo
say
comes
that I know
back
about
because
this.
Hoist couldn't
I was a
make
little
it.
shocked, but he is a lay minister, and he does quote scripture every chance he gets.
He is everywhere, everything.
Well, who's it gonna be?
He speaks to whenever he's sitting.
Shamrock
he
versus
does it. And this is no problem
Chemo.
as much as it is the real thing. He means it.
Suddenly, we're about to start.
It's a grueling, grueling fight.
Couldn't get him down early. This was the scene, the most telling scene of the night.
Damn, what are we? Is this Richard Jenner?
Here he is, making his way through for the first time tonight, and in the finals. A shot at $60,000.
Saw him hitting the bag. He's got a great left hook. Comes right out of the slot, up and over. So
Yeah, so I remember this, right? And this is a lot of money back then, $60,000 in 1994. It's actually good money for this event.
we're going to see what a fortunate night for him tonight, guys.
well, I tell you, this is indicative of how great this event has become. These guys have to give up the
Steve
chance
Jenham.
of $60,000. You know doggone well, if they didn't put everything out there, they would not do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We've yet
So
to
he's
find out what
fresh.
the injury was to Ken Shamrock, but all we know
He's a
is
cop.
police officer, Steve Jenham, Togakura Ryu Jiu-Jitsu. And his art.
If he is hurt, you protect him. Got it?
Big John McCarthy ruling the roost there from an early age.
Harold Howard is now, we understand, in the tunnel and about to make his way into the octagon.
I went back a few minutes ago to try to get an interview with him. He was so keyed up. He was yelling and screaming, jumping up and down his hands. He was ready to go. He wants this big time.
Harold Howard, a father of two. He has his own style. He went into the ring, and he saw Royce Gracie have to throw in the towel. Couldn't continue.
History in the making, folks. We're used to seeing Royce come out with this entourage. What a night this is.
Backgammon tops.
Harold Howard had fought one bout. He took the Royce Gracie. He had him matched up in the semifinals. Royce couldn't continue. Now he's in the finals.
This guy looks like he's ready to bang.
Jim is an understatement.
It is an understatement.
Look, to be fair, it kind of evens out because Harold's looks a lot heavier than him, but he doesn't look fatigued. This guy, you know, it's his first one out there, so he's going to be fresher, but he's a lot lighter by the looks.
Statement. He's always been keyed up since he's been down here.
I worked on the Alaskan pipeline off and on for 8 years. There's a lot of tough Canadians out there. Here we go.
He's bouncing around.
Let's go up to Rich Goins now, who's keeping things level-headed up in the octagon for the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, our finals of the Ultimate Fighting Championship Part 3 from Charlotte, North Carolina. Please welcome the competitors. Filling in for Ken Shamrock out of the blue corner, a third-degree black belt in the art of Toga Kore-Ryu Ninjutsu. He's a uniformed police officer from Omaha, Nebraska, 5'10", 215 pounds.
Just to be clear, before I showed you chemo again and he came out, but I think he was also injured, and that whoever put this video together, it's somehow flashed back to that. But we know that Shamrock's injured and Royce is injured, and then at the end of the night, we end up with these two guys, Harold Howard and Steve Jenham, and prize money $60,000 US.
Steve Jenham.
Jenham. Why? Why does he say it twice? I don't know.
And his opponent back for the finals from Ontario, Canada.
Got his black belt on.
A black belt, a Canadian World Heavyweight Champion in Jiu-Jitsu, and three-time Canadian Heavyweight Karate Champion, 6'2", 230 pound, Harold Howard.
I wouldn't want to fight him.
Howard.
No way. Freaking monster. He looks about 40. He's got old man strength already.
He got here, nothing's changed. He's been this. He looks just like this when he got here. Are you ready?
Referee John McCarthy says, let's get it underway.
Here we go.
Harold's come out the traditional karate stance. Steve's got a bit of a boxing stance. Oh, forward
A
rock.
little bit of acrobatics. Lead right hand.
Straight right hand. That hurt. That hurts. Steve.
Harold's
Ducked
psyched.
the punch. He's going for the ground. Hey.
That hand.
Steve Jenham got some
was
grappling.
enough for Jenham to know I got to get this guy in the ground.
Jenham took that shot. That was a big right hand.
Right headlock.
That was a type of shot to put Roland Payne out of his
Shit,
competition.
it's not
Jenham
good.
should sweep him, yes, to take him down to break that hole.
Jenham's got to go to the other side, which he's done.
He should reach up and pull that hand down.
That's
to pull
what
that
you
off his
want.
neck.
Grab 10 Chicken McBites for $3 or a $4 McFlurry at Macca's today.
Sorry about that. I don't have YouTube Premium anymore, so we got to get these interruptions. But when you're in that position, here we go. We're back again.
Should get both his legs around his waist. This can go a while.
So Steve Jenham's on the right thing, right? He's trying to get his body on the opposite side of where his head's trapped. If he stayed on that side, more leverage, less leverage. It's just a waiting game till you pop your head out. He's countering over here with some kind of like C grip and attack on the cartilage, the throat of Harold here. I don't know if that's entirely kosher, but whatever it takes to survive. But, you know, I would be opting for some kind of blade pressure from your forearm, like grabbing the guy's shoulder and then bringing the blade across their throat to distract them and loosen up this headlock. And also making sure, because he is in half guard, so he's not entirely out of the woods, but once he gets clear of those legs of Harold, then it's bad news for Harold.
He can get his other leg, his right leg out. If Howard can get his right leg out and around his waist and put this pressure on it, this fight will be over.
Yeah.
You haven't seen him off his feet.
Yeah.
Jenham's strong.
Now Steve will try to get that right leg out of there.
Jenham kept his cool.
He's separating leg.
Many people
See, Jenham knows what he's doing, but it looks like he's about to get swept.
would not have kept his cool, and suddenly it's reversed.
Surprised he went that way. Good move.
Jenham's bleeding from that first punch.
Yeah,
good hit. He's fired up, Jenham. He's a good striker.
Up character. Look at this.
Look at that.
Years.
Full mount.
Jenham is fresh. He comes out of the wing.
He should save his strength. He should punch when he can punch. Yes.
Referee John McCarthy is keeping a close eye on him.
Unbelievable.
And it's it.
Alternate wins the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
An alternate win. Steve Jenham has won $60,000.
Wow.
He is
Harold
the
tapped
Ultimate
out.
Fighting champion. It's the first time in 3 UFC bouts that we have an alternate win it all. He is ecstatic, and Jimmy, what guts it took after he took that blow to keep his cool.
Walk around there, Jenna.
The Nebraska policeman is the UFC champion.
Harold Howard's like, you are the master.
He's the creative and innovative
He's so
martial
respectful.
arts strategy. It's a combat system. He did it himself. And look at the respect between the two fighters. Harold Howard embraces it.
To be fair, I reckon Harold Howard sort of chose, that was a good strategy because he knew he was tired, and he also, this guy's in full mount and he's fresh. And if you don't really know how to escape full mount, especially with strikes coming, it's hard enough when you're feeling just doing jiu-jitsu, not getting hit in the face. So he's like, oh, I'm not taking any more damage. This guy's on top. I think I'll let him have it.
Good job. You're tough man.
Yeah.
He's working his way up into the crowd.
Turn it around.
To
Turn
present
it
the
around.
check.
Turn it around. Shake his hand. Good job. Outstanding
Well, I'll
job.
tell you something, Brian. When we see him again, he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, he's going to be a marked
He should
man.
enjoy this.
Yeah. What can you say about Steve Jenham? When he took that right hand, a lesser man might have said, hey, Kay, that's not enough. Steve
No,
Jenham
lot of
was
heart,
actually
lot of
leaving the
heart.
ring. Jimmy was leaving the ring without getting his money.
Here we go.
And you carried it all the way through the end of the fight.
Well, I told you if it worked, it worked. And it didn't, I didn't. So in the end, it didn't. I love your children. I love your wife, and I believe it or not, I love my family too.
It's unbelievable. Just a true champion. It's just super. It's a great fight. It's a really good fight.
He's a good guy.
Ben Perry talks to Harold Howard. Now Ben goes up into the octagon, and Steve Jenham doesn't know what hit him.
$60,000
His whole
bucks.
entourage is hugging each other. They don't know what's happened.
Well, that's $60,000 for one fight. Less than a minute, probably. Huh?
History in the making.
Ah, so Hoist won the first two. Steve Jenham, number 3.
Unbelievable
Hoist
what happens
Gracie
here.
in
First
UFC
time in the history of the Octagon has this ever happened. The alternate comes in and wins $60,000. How do you feel?
I feel great. I feel fantastic.
Did you think you would even get in this tonight?
Well, I was touch and go there for a little while, and then
His
something
wife
happened to
can't
Mr.
believe it.
Shamrock, and got to go, and I was ready.
What a great break to come in fresh to do this. It's the way it's established. It's unbelievable. You're a true champion. You earned this thing. You came in and you did it. You fought a really, really tough Harold Howard. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he was tough. That was really something else.
This is incredible. Brian?
Okay, I think we'll leave it there. It's Steve Jenham having the last word. So that's UFC 3. You can see how things work out. Some could argue, oh, well, he was fresh, he came in late, he wasn't injured, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I think Harold Howard is still a threat. If Harold Howard had been fresher, could have been a lot different. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for a UFC 4 reaction video. Catch you later.